that in there, let that load. But what we're gonna do is let's look at their financials real quick and see if this company actually makes money. So let's look at them. Let's see. So it looks like Q4 of 2022, probably in 2020. This is probably when they, most likely when they went IPO. They had a good run until Q2 of 22 from a revenue perspective. Almost flat at this 202 million. They've passed it here and there, but they sit about quarterly at that 202 million. They had that dip in 2023, and that's the same period when the stock kind of took a hit. But it seems like they are picking up in business a little bit. It doesn't look as good as how they were doing back in 2021, but we since this July 2023, there seems to be like a curve in revenue, so revenue is going up. Revenue growth rate, let's see. So revenue growth rates all over the place. The later years, mid-year of 21 to end of 2022, they had this initial revenue growth, and then it kind of just dropped off, and revenue wasn't really growing as fast compared to the previous quarters. But then they went into the negatives in 2023, and that reflects on the revenue numbers. Growth has been kind of dying off, especially when you think that in an era where AI is becoming an important factor of the where the industry is going. It's very interesting that the revenue growth has gone negative to around now at negative 2.52. The thing about the problem I have with that is this is a pretty small cap it's a little bit above small cap. So small cap is, I believe, up to 2 billion. So it's out of the small cap, but the fact that revenue is slowing down is always a little scary. But let's look at the cost of goods sold. Kind of flat. I mean, it is going up, but not too significantly. Gross profits are looking flat since 2023. I think they just overall had really bad 2023. We're seeing somewhat improvement, but they did lose gross profits from 21 to 2023 though. Selling general administration, these costs have continued to stay high even when they were losing revenue, and the revenue growth rate was slowing down in 23. The cost still stayed consistent. Them being a technology research company, I expect this to be high almost always. We got operating expense now. Gross profits, quarterly, selling general research development. Yeah, that's pretty stacked number. Doesn't look like it's going down any quarterly basis. Op expense always going to be high, so I was expecting that. It doesn't look like they're slowing down in their operating expense, even when they didn't have that good of a year in 23. Operating expense stayed pretty strong here. Operating income. So we are seeing a little pickup since Q1 of this year. But it's good to see that they're actually coming out at a positive operating income. Something that is interesting is that if we annualize this, they didn't have a good Q3 2023, and from an annualized perspective, it looks like they could maybe by the end of the year hit almost a break even of that 44.1 million in gross profit. How are they doing in net income? Net income looks okay. I mean, 2023, they had really good net income. You know, that is interesting. The fact, despite not having a good revenue, net income was not too bad here. But it looks like net income has been dropping, which is not a good sign because the company's revenue growth is slowing down. The net income is also slowing down. Their operating income is, kind of stagnant here, not growing too fast. Even if we look at it in quarterly perspective, um, well, operating income, here it is. It's we're seeing like the last couple of quarters growing. Maybe there's some business there, but from an annualized perspective, it's not looking good. Net income from quarter over quarter looking better. So the last 3 quarters, they've had a decent net income numbers here. Compared to like past couple of quarters, I mean, they kind of been going down, and then they hit the bottom in Q1 of 2025. Look at, are they issuing shares? The earnings per share, obviously that is kind of going up here. Okay, there you go. Shares outstanding. Okay, so it looks like they actually are buying back some of the shares here. For a small company, maybe the management thinks they're undervalued, so there's an opportunity there. So they're buying back some of their shares. It's good to see that they are doing a repurchase of some of their shares. I prefer to see a company do a little bit of acquisition, a little bit of share buybacks. It's always a good way for small companies to grow, especially when they make really good purchases of companies that continue to stack up their business. Okay, so we're gonna look at this annualized number rather than quarterly. So starting 2020 to 2025, we're gonna look at their balance sheet, and we're gonna look at how the heck is the balance sheet doing. What is the short-term, long-term debt? So it looks like from debt to asset, this company has a ton of assets. So really healthy to see, actually. I like it when I see a company like this where their current assets to current debt ratio look almost, in this case it's almost like 5x. So pretty impressive. Long-term assets here, long-term liabilities. I mean, also from asset to liability, very healthy company. I mean, this looks phenomenal. Long-term debt, yeah, nothing too crazy here. So pretty good, pretty strong balance sheet. How's our cash flow? So net income, stock-based compensation, yeah, they're doing that a little bit. So operating right here, operating cash flow. So operating cash flow, also called cash flow from operations activity, measures the amount of cash that the company generates from normal business activity. So as you can see, they are creating a good amount of cash, which then they can use to invest into the business, buy more research tools and equipment for the type of business that they do, such as like acquiring new businesses. So it's really good to see that they can do business, small company, but at the end of the day come out with a positive cash. And this has been strong, like the fact that they operating cash, I mean, it's been going down since 2020, but we're seeing this small tick up. Trailing 12 months still looking good. The quarter's not over, but we are seeing this like gentle climb up and to the right since 2023. 2023 is just overall terrible year for the company. Investment, they did a lot of investment, so invested cash flow. So this is the cash flow, is the total change in cash from buying, selling investments, long-term assets. So they are investing in themselves, which is not a bad thing. Financing cash flow. So financing cash flow is the total change in cash through financing activities. This includes dividend payments, share issued, and repurchases here. I think they did buy some shares out, So that's why we see some of these negative numbers. So overall, really, a really strong company here. At least their balance sheet looks pretty good. Okay, so balance sheet looks good. Let's look. I think balance sheet, cash flow, income statement looks pretty phenomenal. Let's look at the stock's performance for the past couple of days here. The best place for me when I'm looking at the company finances, I do like to use Perplexity. So let's just use Perplexity and get some information here. So the stock, today was a great day, almost 3.5%. Past 5 days, almost 5%. 1 month, 14%. 6 months, almost 60%, and year to date at 14%. 1 year, 27%. 5 years, the company's at 26 in 5 years, and then a maximum this company has returned 186%. Going back, 2015. Oh wow, 2003. So, that's okay. Technically, that's not really like that good of a return, to be honest. Since 2003, we've seen a lot of companies in this industry performing really well. So CEO files plan to divest shares. So these are some events that are going on around the company. Like we said, the market cap is still small, almost like $4 billion company. Chief Executive Officer he's gonna sell some of the shares. It looks like he's disclosing interest to sell 8,403 shares. A semiconductor testing company. The regulatory filing indicates plan to stop transaction by top something. Their third quarter results exceed analyst projection. Okay, so they just reported earnings yesterday, a couple days ago. So I guess they reported really good numbers for the third quarter earnings. EPS 0.33 surprised. They were forecasted at 25 cents, but they beat it by 33. Revenue reached 202 million versus anticipated 119. So they beat revenue expectations, which made the shares jump about a little bit over 2.5%. Which then, obviously the stock ended up gapping, and then they also benefited today from all of the activity around NVIDIA. FormFactor shares are trading at 2. FormFactor shares finished down. Nothing important there. Margin improvement. So ongoing operational initiatives and product mix enhanced have already boosted FormFactor's non-GAAP gross margin. I really don't care about that. Headwinds remain from tariff impacts, product mix volatility, research and development, and startup expenses, raising doubts about the pace and certainty of further margin expansion. Yeah, they may have to spend more money. They have pretty good cash flow, so there's a lot of companies spending, a ton of money around companies, especially when it comes to AI. And let's look at what the forecast is here. The forecast, what are analysts saying? So analysts are saying, the stock is down by two almost 3%. We have, out of the 8 analysts that covers FormFactor, stocks have a consensus buy and an average price of 51.88. And so here they are, number of analysts. It looks like the number of analysts ticked up by 1 here on this site. As you can see, there's no sell or strong sell. There's a lot of analysts just saying this is a hold, there's no buy, and there's analysts saying that this is a strong buy. So 4 analysts saying strong buy and 4 analysts saying hold. So somewhat contentious stock here. Citigroup, probably the most interesting, but he has no ratings. Matthew is the highest rated analyst here. He's saying a buy, price target of $72, which then leaves you with almost 49% upside from the current price. Um, let's look at our AI and see what we have been provided here. Oh no. Alright, the AI is taking its time. Yeah, so today AMD obviously reported crypto is, taking a breather. Um, After the market closed, the market just took off. I'm gonna let this agent here kind of gather the data, and then once that's done, we will review it. So yeah, Form seems like an interesting company. While it's low, let's look at their site and see how that looks. So semiconductor testing and measurement company. When market pressure demands the shortest possible path for concept volume productivity or production. Nice. Okay, so we offer a wide range of probe systems. Our experts span across various applications, including logic 5G devices, silicon photonics. We offer solutions across many industries, leading edge communication, automotives, energy, so on, aerospace, and so on and so forth. They have their product here called Xfinity XF broadband 250 gigahertz probing. Our customers rely on our proven portfolio of products and our experienced engineer to help them meet today's test measurement challenges. I think it is companies that are coming out with custom products, custom AIs, efficient AIs, efficiency when it comes to energy. I think they're gonna have to start making like efficient GPUs and CPUs. So a lot of this company has to test for these. Probably not CPUs because Google kind of keeps their data internally, but when it comes to like chip manufacturing, they have to go through a really good test to see if these chips actually work. And introducing the Evolvity 300 semi-automated wafer probe system, new Kepler high parallelism system on chip vertical probe card. Okay, and then they're interesting. Okay, they have investor relations page, press release. So these, okay, let's look at the products. Probe systems, probe cards, quantum cryogenics. Jeez, they really have a quantum cryogenics. Okay, so these are all the products here. So here's their FormFactor IMS product delivery, robust, turnkey functionality. Interesting. Wafer multi-chip cryogen system, chip scale cryogen system. Wow. So the chip scale, so HPD cryogen chip scale probe station tackle problems like long turnaround times, high noise, and low single capabilities. By employing world-class technology and superior cryogen probing knowledge, the systems enable accurate measurement at cryogenic temperatures. Wow, so just practically freezing temperatures. Dilution refrigeration. And they got accessories. So this is how they make them their millions and millions of dollars using these products. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let me look at the stock form. Okay. Let me see if I can find their investor release. So these are the products. These are the applications: semiconductor R&D research, high volume production, partner solutions, and technical papers, industry, computing, data center, quantum, 5G communication, automotive, aerospace, defense, sales services, so global contact information. I need your career investors. Let me look at their investor relations while that loads. Here's their presentation, so let's look at this. All right. So this is November 2025, so not long ago. So FormFactor at a glance. So trailing 12 months, they're almost over $500 million. Advanced probe card for chip production, so 115 plus MEMS probes a year. Engineering systems, global manufacturing, employing over 25, almost 2,300 people. And they've partnered up with Macron, Samsung, Intel, TSM, and Hynix. Compelling investment thesis. So, market leader in large and growing semiconductor test and measurement sectors. Benefits from powerful secular trend. I agree. Technology leadership enables customers' most critical roadmap advancements from R&D and research. Profitable financial model with earning growth and strong cash flow. Okay. And then they got active execution of acquisition, strategy, increasing scale and diversification. I do want to see their acquisitions. That will be a really good number to see. Proven track record. So it looks like this company's revenue, from 2021 on, looking decently well. Obviously, we saw their weakness here. GAAP gross margins definitely kind of going down here, but maybe we're starting to see some kind of a check mark here. Things are going to start performing. Non-GAAP EPS and the free cash flow. Oh no, my analyzer is broken. Oh. Yeah, let me try having it fix the error. So you have so pretty good cash flow. Free cash flow in 2024 was $83 million. They recognize industry leader. So FormFactor, the number one global supplier of test subsystems and focused chip making equipment. Global Semiconductor Supplier Award. Nice. Okay, number one test systems focus, and then number one in focus supplier chip making equipment, and then Global Semiconductor Supplier Award, Global Semiconductor Supplier Award, assembly test equipment. Each year, the Tech Insight survey semiconductor manufacturers worldwide. Okay, whatever. FormFactor receives SK Hynix Best Partner Award. Okay, FormFactor earns Intel 2024 Epic Distinguishment Supply Award. Interesting. Okay. How FormFactor wins. FormFactor occupies a unique place in semiconductor industry. So for front end wafer fabrication equipment, so these are the ones that they have: litho, etch, deposition, and metrology. Industry, they think that's a $95 billion industry, growing at what, 6% CAGR from what years? High cyclicality tied to capital spending. It is highly consolidated, and then tied to capital spending. Yes, when companies have to spend money, they're gonna when they come up with new technologies, they have to test these chips. So this is the company to go to test those chips. Wafer test measurements, they think that's 2.7 billion industry advanced probe card, and then the engineering systems broken down. Back-end wafer assembly and final testing, that's a 3.5 billion at 7% growth CAGR. Probe cards are the design-specific interface that connect the ATE to wafer. F&Ls, boom, 50 Umes. Okay, I mean, wow. So these are as small as a tip of a pencil or a strand of hair. So they're testing stuff almost at the micro level, which is not easy to do and takes highly sophisticated machines. Customer value, FormFactor benefits from lab to fab. Nice. Customer benefits from accelerated path from concept to volume productivity. Save time and effort. Start making money faster through engineering, high volume engineering, niche products, and full products, right? Yeah. And the thing about this is they can also come up with their own products, and they can sell that rather than maybe doing testing for other companies. Secular growth in semiconductor industry, slowing of Moore's law, node shrinks no longer provide cost reduction. Of course, as the node shrinks 4x, the cost doesn't get smaller, it becomes more sophisticated. Interesting. Already 30 minutes exponential growth in silicon device will be accelerated by AI. We went from freaking a brick to now we're going to Gen AI. And then I think there's definitely significant amount of growth with Edge AI as well. So they're going to be able to make money there. Data center capital spending forecast not slowing down. 5G will drive increased content in mobility and automotive application, automotive mobility and automotives, connected devices, and then obviously autonomous driving, electrification is all going to drive the market in 2027. These are the values that they expect the market to be in. 2027 market size on connectivity 9 billion, electrification 44 billion, and then autonomy by 2035 is going to be 50 billion. Driven, these spends driven by semiconductors, sensor growth. Yeah, I can see that. And then the type of research these type of companies have to do is going to benefit. It's going to benefit especially space as well. So they can see a lot of benefits as we are expanding into space. Test intensity, low, high, semiconductor die yield. So they're sitting where the test intensities cost of the advanced packaging solution. So they're low, high, semiconductor die yield, low, and then cost of advanced packaging, high, lots. Probe is moving into spotlight, meaning semiconductor probe card sales are definitely growing here. Kind of cool. 2000, oh jeez, we don't need to go that far back. But if we do look that far back, we're seeing the company growing this number here. Not too bad, like significantly good. Memory, high frequency, and logic. 7% CAGR FormFactor, advanced probe card 5%. R&D, so FormFactor, so the way unique capability position FormFactor to grow in advanced probes cards, especially around proprietary technology, strong customer relationship, and then research and development. These are the products that they have. We looked at the revenues. We look for cash flow, and then diverse shareholder value creation, revenue growth, operation leverage, and capital allocation. So focus reinvestment, research and development, capacity expansion, fund organic growth, M&A, merger and acquisition, increase SAM, acquire attractive technologies. Okay. Scale. Okay, I want to see if they have acquired anybody. So acquisition strategy and scale. So proven track record of identifying and integrating. Okay, so they purchased this company in 2012 for 117 million. Microprobe, Cascade in 2016 for 352. Acquisition with Adventest Probe Card Assets in 2020 for 35, and they purchased this company here in 2020 for 15, and then in 2022 they also acquired Janus VLT dilution refrigerated probe line. Good for them. I mean, they do an acquisition between these years, 4 years. They wait another 4 years, and then within the same year they bought 2 companies, and 2 years later they bought another. I'm surprised they haven't bought any companies in the last 3 years. I'm sure they're probably there's talks around who to purchase next. We looked at the balance sheet. The balance sheet looks amazing. Let's see if our data is ready, but this company looks pretty impressive. I like how they're growing. I like they're doing some stock repurchases. I like how they're doing stock repurchase programs. I like how they're doing acquisitions. This is how I want to see like a company that I'm interested in actually grow. So I'm impressed. There's a decent number of analysts saying this company is definitely a buy. Here is, oh man, my agent might be broken a little bit. Decrease from institutional shareholders. Top holder Thomas Bravo. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to show you this. Looks like something is broken, so another time. Sometimes what I would like to do when I find a company that I'm interested in is quickly see what's going on from a social sentiment here. There's a lot of technical analysis. Definitely not FormFactor. FormFactor. Okay. What are people saying? Okay. The Quantum Insider. An insider looked at FormFactor Cryogen Test Lab. The lab is an opportunity to build custom probing solutions. Whether it's a 4K or 4 Kelvin or 50 millikelvin, will work with you to solve your, okay. FormFactor income statement, yeah, that looks phenomenal. This is February 12th. FormFactor delivers on its promises. And this is their Q3 earnings, or full deliver on promises. So in 2016, when was this? When did this come out? February 2017. This is a little aged here. I'm surprised that not a lot of people really cover. I like how there isn't too much social sentiment around it. It's not a bad thing. Okay. So there isn't too much from like social sentiment perspective. This is a small company. Most of the time, you know, the less people that there are out there talking about it, the better. But this is it. I think the company has a strong balance sheet. Strong income statement, strong cash flow, acquisition history, and then really growing in the demand of AI sector. I like their business. they sit at the heart of everything. So definitely a company worth continuing to look at in the long term. I have it in the tracker, so we'll keep you updated to see where it is at. Forum reported their earnings. Sometimes what I do like to do when I find a company that I like is I'll check FinViz, just to see what's going on. If they're okay, Form, because I want to know if I wonder if a company's doing purchases, if they're selling, offloading stocks. So this is sometimes what I like to look at to see if there's anything out of the ordinary when it comes to stock repurchase or resale. But we're seeing that, as you can see, the CEO November, and the officer in November. There's a lot of sales of their shares in 2025. Here's 2025 here, and the kind of sales of the stock has started to increase, and looks like it's going down, but overall seems to be flat around this $30 a share. But they had a big sale. Oh, that's not too big. $520,000 of sell. That's nothing. That is actually not. That is nothing. The company is almost, it's almost a $3 billion, $4 billion market cap company. A $500,000 sale is not going to hurt anybody. I think if sometimes directors need the money to do, pay out or invest in something else, so it's not a bad thing. But yeah, this is the company. This is it. That's AMD. This is it. Where is it at? There it is. This is the company. This is the IR page. Go check them out. This is always where I go to find details around the company. They've done a really good job on their investor relations page. But Forum is a company that has really just an amazing balance sheet. They might be worth looking at. They might be worth looking at if you're looking to get into this type of industry. But I wanted to, a quick review anyways. I mean, this is a bit too long, not really a quick review. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, let me know if there's a stock that you want me to cover. Have a great night. This financial education and business signing out. Peace.